Hello, and welcome back to my channel. One of my favorite people in the disability community was Lucy Quinn, editor-in-chief of Mouth magazine. She had a psychiatric disability. She was institutionalized in New Mexico, a large chain of residential institutions here in the United States. I know they're technically rehabilitation hospitals, but an institution is an institution as far as I am concerned. In fact, my mom worked at one in Wisconsin when I was young, about 4. Anyway, nobody would listen to her. She started saying to the staff, "Hey, this mouth has a brain." The staff just would not listen to her. She started her own magazine with the title, "This Mouth Has a Brain." Eventually she was freed, moved to Topeka, Kansas, and got involved with the disability rights group ADAPT. Mouth magazine was not a huge publication. It was nowhere near the size of New Mobility, which is another disability rights publication here in the United States. I do not think you would hear about it if you are not involved with disability rights. I was featured on the cover along with my brother, Nigel, and another boy with cerebral palsy. Another time I printed off my speech from the Not Dead Yet protest at Princeton University and I gave it to her. My Liberator had a built-in printer that looked like a cash register, or to for folks in the United Kingdom, to receipt. It was run basically like this, out of her house, but obviously publishing a magazine is a lot different than doing YouTube. I believe I wrote some articles. She moved to Washington, Pennsylvania, and lived at the George Washington Hotel on Main Street across from the Coward House. I think she would have came down to Drag Queen Bingo. I bring this story up because I find it to be incredibly frustrating when people are condescending to me due to my disability. Some people do not mean it. For example, I had an attendant from Texas that would call me dear. I said to her, "My name is Kyle. Please call me that." Now she did not realize what she was doing. She was an older Southern woman. She apologized and got a lot better. She was my main Sunday through Friday morning attendant. Others you could tell them until you were blue in the face, and they still would not get it. For example, I just need help getting ready for bed, putting my pajamas on and brushing my teeth, and turning my sheets down at night. I can get into bed most of the time by myself if it is made. As you can see, I get close to my bed. reach out for the headboard. Then squeeze my butt into the bed. I cover up. In the morning I uncover. Normally because my attendant makes my bed. I don't be that nice to my covers. I get back in my wheelchair. In the wider disability community, people do not like when other people think they are dumb or incapable of making decisions. Now, understand there is a caveat to every situation. When I go under anesthesia, obviously, I cannot make my own decisions, but even those without disabilities can make decisions. I also would ensure that I am in a state where it is safe to be let alone. There are some who do have intellectual disabilities who need that extra support, and I totally get that. I met a guy who actually got to Voices for Independence who, if he was let alone, would eat everything. Matt, the personal trainer, told me he was heavy before coming to the gym. His attendant is to tell him no or he would just eat and drink everything in the house. However, most people with disabilities are as smart, or even smarter than anybody else. That Bachelor of Arts degree from California University of Pennsylvania is not an honorary degree. I earned every credit to get that degree. Granted, I was not the best student in college. I did not graduate with a 4.0 GPA, but I graduated like anybody else, just with reasonable accommodations. I write, filmed, and edit these YouTube videos by myself. My attendant helps me with my hair and that is it. It takes me about a week from pre-production to upload. That's why I don't produce videos every day. This is my 193rd video. Also, I have discussed personal things on here that not even my family knows about until I made a video. I believe that all people who work with people with disabilities, whether it is personal care attendants, nurses, or other professionals, should be required to watch a documentary on the disability rights and dependent living movement as a part of their training, then be tested on it. This happens more than you think even in 2025. That they understand why people like me feel this way. There are tons of documentaries on the disability community and the movement. PBS just released new one last week. Well, the first part. When I was in school back in the 90s and early 2000s, the extent of civil rights education extended to Dr. King and Rosa Parks. We need to teach American history, which includes disability history and disability culture, in our public schools. If you identify as a student with a disability, then you should take that class. You should know even count Wade Blank, Judy Heumann, and Justin Dart. People with disabilities are smart and capable of doing amazing things. In 1990s, they crawled up the steps of the United States Capitol. Anybody that goes into the field of attendant care should know this or is willing to learn. Do not count as out. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please support your local public broadcasting station and other independent media. Stay strong. I will see you soon.